The siege of Sarajevo, the Srebrenica massacre, who could forget the harrowing images of the Bosnian War? And yet tension is now building, some say, once again in the Balkans. Can a lasting solution be found? You're watching Roundtable with me, David Foster. Balkans, where ethnicities, religions and empires have been fought over for decades. Now Russia and the European Union, among others, are vying for position. Could this become the battleground of the new Cold War? We move to Sarajevo, where we have Zlatko Lagumdzija, former Minister of Foreign Affairs and former Chairman of the Council of Ministers, with me at the round.
Well, let me put it this way. If whoever, Russians, Turks, Chinese, whoever, if they are using Balkan as a testing ground, that's not so bad after all, because I think that the problem we have today is, among other things, because the West, USA and European Union lost their momentum that they used to have in here. I mean, there are no doubts that Balkan's future is in Europe, in European integrations, as a member of EU. And I think that the fact that some other big players are putting more attention on Balkan, it may be good for us, not in order to become a new testing ground or battlefield in whatever sense, but because I hope that European Union and USA will take this seriously, having in mind that the vacuum was created because the non-presence of USA and European Union in an amount that we used to have it, especially because they are major players in implementation of Dayton Peace Accord, and especially for the last 10 years we are talking about moving from Dayton phase to Brussels phase. So finally Brussels have to show that they are serious geostrategic player, because this is no more about technical standards for Balkan. This is about geopolitical and political will of European Union to be a real global player. If they are not able, if they are not ready to close the missing link in Balkan, to close this 18 million people who live in 5 or 6 countries, if they don't want, if they are not able to make them being member of European Union, then European Union has a much bigger problem than European Union has itself. And we cannot get in a bigger mess than we used to be. Oh, I thought you were asking that Belgrade. Well, let me put it this way. The war started because something which we call today shared society, a multicultural, multi-ethnic society in this part of the world called Bosnia and Herzegovina, was heavily attacked from outside forces. And today we have in Hague the people who are actually criminals, war criminals, who are trying to destroy the very substance of multi-ethnicity in this country, is being trialed. Today, I think we have to understand that not only in this country, but in Balkan in general, and maybe even in Europe in a broader context, we are witnessing some kind of conflict in between two political approaches: inclusive society or shared society on one side, and exclusive and segregated society on the other side. So the future of European Union, as well as in Balkan, as well as in Bosnia and Herzegovina, is going back to the original values and ideas that this society was stable about and this European Union was about, which is unity in diversity, and really not as a motto, but as a way of living and way of working and living together. In that context, I think it is very important to understand that, of course, we can talk about outside influences of Russia and whoever, China, because even when China is launching Belt and Road Initiative, some people are seeing that as a threat in this part of the world. When Russians are coming here with more presence in economic sense, some other people are seeing that as a threat, which is fine. I don't mind. But the point is that we are not in a problem because someone is coming here more, especially when someone is coming more with economic influence. We are in a problem where we are not ourselves fighting and living and promoting the values that this society can make be stable. The concept of multi-ethnicity, multiculturality, shared society, inclusive society here in Bosnia, in Balkan, and in broader context in European sense. So my point is very simple. Instead of European Union and USA are thinking about some other influences they don't like so much, I call them to come here more and be present here more in helping us to integrate in Euro-Atlantic integrations in as quickest and possible, most quick and most efficient way. So today European Union is with new Western Balkan initiative that is opening the path that we by 2025 may be basically the members of the European Union. This is something that we have to do as much as possible, to do as a major homework, major exercise, and try to have Europe here more substantially present, financially, with technical aid, not giving us some bureaucratic things, but give us a fast track to get fulfilling European standards, and especially in the things that are connected with Chapter 23 and 24, which is fight against organized crime, corruption, and come here with more investments, and come here with European values, not trying to please us around our old fights and trying to please ethnic leaders, try to promote civil society in this part of the world. I won't respond too much on what I heard because I didn't hear so clearly, and the devil is in details in this region, especially in this country. But to make a very precise point on what I understood and what I heard, I want to come back to the issue of, I agree with liberal, illiberal democracies, that's an issue. But I think the major issue in Bosnia and Herzegovina, in Balkan, as well as in Europe, is actually, do we live and do we want to live all together basic European values which are embodied in the European Convention of Human Rights and Freedoms? Do we want to promote segregated and exclusive societies, or do we want to promote shared and inclusive societies? And that's what Europe has to be more present in here and help us to speed up this process. And I think that it is very important that I was very happy when I heard yesterday Prime Minister of Bulgaria, who is chairing the European Union in Mostar, who is saying that without Western Balkan being part of European Union, we all together in a region, from Slovenia to Greece, may be getting into the big mess, I won't say a war. And when we heard yesterday Juncker saying that no country in Balkan can escape from a misery if we do not come faster in European Union, and European Union has to finish this process. I think we have to focus on that, promoting European values in here, not pleasing ethnophobic and ethnocentric leaders, because if 2 million, to be very precise, Bosnia and Herzegovina has to be civil, secular state with full European human rights and freedoms given to individuals, not to collectivities. Because if 2 million Muslims want to be citizens of Bosnia and Herzegovina and here, and not being afraid of being citizens of 500 millions of non-Muslims of European Union citizens, then why we do have to make threats in here in Bosnia and Herzegovina that people are jeopardized along their identities if they are not citizens? We have to be citizens of this country. Bosnian Muslims, Christians, Jews, and so on.